Hi, I'm Psychic Medium Sarah Lemos, and one of the questions I get all the time is, how do I sage my home? And can I sage it wrong? Those two questions always come hand in hand every single time. How do I sage my home? And am I gonna do it wrong? The answer is you're not gonna do it wrong, but I'll help you. Today we're gonna be saging my front room, and I'll be explaining all the techniques and all the different things that you can use to really invite in a beautiful sense and new feeling for this amazing new year. One of the most important things is you're going to want to open a room in your house. So, a window in your house. So this is a space where the old energy can escape. So opening up a window is really important because what you're doing is you're allowing that old negative energy to find its way out of your home. Does that make sense? So I'm not going to squish the bad energy. I'm going to let it simply leave. And this is very, very important. Now, you're going to need some tools, some basic tools. And again, trust me here, guys, you can't do this wrong, okay? But let me explain some of the tricks of the trade and what we use and why we use it. So when you sage your home, I use something as simple as California white sage. California white sage is my favorite. It has a beautiful aroma. I really enjoy it, and it's absolutely a beautiful, beautiful thing to use when saging your home. Now, there is absolutely different types of sage. So if you don't like California white sage, there's pine sage, there's all different types of things you can use when saging your home. So you can make that choice when you go to the store. Absolutely okay. I just prefer California white sage because of the smell. Now, sage represents earth when you sage. It is absolutely important that you understand this, that it represents the earth plane, okay? And then we have a shell here that we use to burn the sage in, and this represents water. So we use this beautiful shell for several reasons. One, sage can get very hot when you are burning it and saging your home. And trust me, you don't want that in your hand, or you don't want to try to catch those embers when they let go from the sage. So having something to burn in is very, very important. Then, of course, we have my smudging wand. This represents ether or air. So as we use, you can use any type of feather that you would like. I'm very particular to crow. And so I use the crow feathers as I do my ritual. And then lastly, we have fire. Beautiful fire. So these are a few of the different things that you'll be using. But most importantly, you're going to be using your intention. Intention is so important here. It's what do I want to bring to my home and what do I want to release from my home? So take a few moments to think about that. What am I trying to create in my home? So last night, as the clock struck midnight, I waited a bit and then came out and decided to sage my home. And for my home, I want clarity, I want cleanliness, I want hope, I want joy, I want vivation. So I decided to come out and smudge my whole house last night. And I really do change my intention as I go. So for me, I make sure that every room has a blessing. Every room has a blessing. And I remind the energy that no longer serves me that it needs to go. Any energy of 2018 that doesn't serve me needs to head. So I point it out to the window and let that energy move out. So I'm going to show you how to smudge your home. First of all, some people will burn the sage in full. So they'll burn this part of the sage. They'll light this part. I don't. I take a few pieces off my sage. And I will tell you this about sage. You can get it when it's too wet and it can mildew. So you want to check your sage when you purchase it at the store for any black specks. Those black specks are actually mildew, and you probably don't want to burn that in your home. I'm allergic to mold, so I definitely don't want to burn it in my home. So I pick enough sage. I can add things to my sage if I would like also. So I can add things like lavender, sweetgrass, things like that. But today I'm simply cleansing my area, so this is all I need. Now that I have my sage ready, I light my sage with the intention. So my intention today is I want to cleanse my home of anything that no longer serves. I let go of everything that no longer serves me, any negative energy, any hostile, any rejection, any fear, any affliction. I release it now. And as you'll see, the fire, as you light it, it will actually go out. And that's what you want, because you're really looking for the smoke in the sage. So you'll get a good light to it. And in different rooms, you'll notice that your sage responds differently, which is it's kind of interesting to watch. And then I will simply move around the house, moving the energy towards that window. Some people use clockwise, some people use counterclockwise. Again, you can't do this wrong. I just like to make sure that everything is covered in the smoke. So as I move along the walls, repeating things like, I would like peace, love, and joy in this space. I want any negative energy, hate, fear, affliction, and anxiety to leave, and do so through that window. So as I do this, I am creating a beautiful sacred space for myself and for my family. And for me as a sensitive, this is very important because I have a really hard time with energy. So this will clean my space. Now, UCLA did a wonderful study on sage, and what they suggest is it actually cleanses and cleans the walls. What this does is sage is a definite scrubber and cleaner. It gets into those little spaces and cleanses any energy or positive ions, because we want negative ions in our home. So after I sage all the different things in my home, as I cleanse, the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move back to the window, repeat that, all negative energy, things that no longer serve me, must leave this window and may not return. I sage my windowsill, and then I close my window. And then I start out my 2019 in a very clean, wonderful, and happy, joyous place. Thanks.